Hi parents, welcome to back to school night. I know this is very different than what we're used to, but I will try to make it quick and easy and simple for you. So a little bit about me is I completed my undergrad in business marketing at Cal State Long Beach. And then I went back to school and received my master's in multiple subject credential at USC. So before I taught, I was an employee wellness coordinator and recruiter down in Long Beach. I just knew I could not do that for the rest of my life, and I've always wanted to be a teacher. So I made it happen, and I am so happy I did. I absolutely love my job. It is now my fourth year teaching third grade. And again, I love third grade. I'm always telling Dr. Summers, please don't move me if I don't have to, because not only do I love the age of all your students, but I absolutely love teaching the standards. They're so much fun. So our schedule. Our schedule doesn't look like this right now just because it's the first few weeks. It's a little funky. But starting September 14th, when Walk to Learn starts, our sessions will look like this. So from 8 o'clock to 8:55 will be Walk to Learn, and that is extremely important that they are present. We will have a break, and then we will move on to language arts with our writing and our grammar, as well as our reading. During this time, we will make sure to hit all of the reading standards within third grade. Walk to Learn time is where we make third grade standards at their level. We're trying to catch them up, or if they're well above, we want to enrich them so they're not bored. We want them to have fun. We'll have another break, and then we'll move into math, and another break, and then we will do SEL is social emotional learning. And then we will go over the homework so they are aware of what is expected of them. But social emotional learning is teaching them how to control their emotions and just how they're feeling. And it's a stressful time. So I want to make sure they're emotionally healthy. So that's when we started the brain activity already, so they understand their brain and where their emotions come from. At home on their own, after our live session from 11:30 to 12:30 is lunch. And then from 12:30 to 3, they need to finish all assignments started in class. And they will also complete history and science assignments. I will explain and show you how to find those assignments. And then 1 o'clock on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, RPE. So our curriculum for math is Go Math curriculum. Some of it, to me, can be confusing. And so if I have to second guess it at all, I know my students will second guess it as well. So sometimes I supplement with other activities and now it has to be worksheets because we are online. So don't worry if it doesn't say a Go Math for homework, it could be something else. Another thing I love is student-led learning. It's a little challenging, again, online, but I'm trying to find a way where students will always try before I teach them because I want them to make mistakes. I want them to struggle. That's when the connection happens, when they struggle and then they learn and the aha moment, and then it stores longer within their memory. So I am all about student-led learning in the very, very beginning. So Walk to Learn is our new instructional core reading support, and it's just all it means is it's reading at their level. We're teaching them skills that they do not know yet. And if they are above third grade level, then we are teaching them fourth grade level. We want to boost them up. We don't want anyone frustrated and we don't want anyone bored. And we saw fabulous results last year. But unfortunately, of course, in March, we did not get to test to see the full year growth, but we saw a lot of growth in just half a year. So the assessment is what I already did when I met with your students one-on-one. And the actual class will start on September 14th from 8 o'clock to 8:55. And I will explain to each one of you how your student will log in, because not everyone will stay with me for that hour. They could be going to Ms. Scales or Mrs. Bell. So our history and science. As far as history, what some of our standards are using text features just to help organize and help them get guided through our textbooks. Yokits are a lot of fun. And so those are the Native Americans that are around Kern County back in the day. We're also going to learn local historical events and then the basic structure of U.S. government. As far as science, we are using mystery science, and they follow new science standards that we received not too long ago. And that is why science will not start for a couple weeks, because I have to provide you with materials so your student can finish the experiments. And I don't want to assign it until we have pickups. Parent Square. That is the absolute best way to communicate with me. So Canvas doesn't alert me as well as Parent Square if you email me through Canvas. So I do check it, but I don't get back to the parents that write me on Canvas as quickly as Parent Square. Grades. So you need to access grades through Aries. It's not Elluminate anymore, and I will provide further information on how to do that, because I heard there are some hiccups as far as parents accessing, so I will find a simpler way for you to do that. And there's no rush because I won't have any grades in until that first pickup in a couple weeks. So there won't be anything inputted. Paperwork for now is due at pickup. I might come up with a different way where maybe a picture is sent in where the students learn how to take a picture and get it to me. But right now it's just going to be at pickup. When we start history and science in the afternoon, those assignments will be due every single Friday. As far as grades, it's A, B, C, or not complete. I personally love this because since they are at home, I know that they may think like, okay, I can get help from someone. I can get straight A's even if I don't understand. To me, I don't care about letter grades whatsoever. I care about growth. And I want to celebrate growth so much. So if a student is struggling and they have no idea how to do something, and then let's say they figure out how to do 3 of the 6 problems. Well, with grading, that would be an F. But they grew their brain and they figured out 3 of the 6 problems. That's absolutely incredible. And they'll keep growing if it's celebrated. They'll shut down if, they're put down for it technically being an F. But we don't have Fs anymore, so they need to try. So I really, really strongly recommend and hope that you can help guide them through their work. And if you believe that you helped them too much where they couldn't really finish it independently or they don't really understand, please write a note next to that in the packet, wherever the question is. So I know I still need to help them. Because if they get it correct, I think in my mind, oh, they understand, I can move on. So please take notes. Our student Zoom behavior is very important, but I am really happy to report that your children and students are amazing and we haven't had too many issues. So just keep making sure that they're in a distraction-free zone. They could be with other siblings just as long as it's not distracting them. They all log in a few minutes early. Be in view of the camera and do not keep their camera off the whole time. So I already had one back to school night and I did have some questions. Some are blacking them out for a little bit, and that's okay. If they need to go to the restroom, if someone's coming into camera, that's fine. What I mean by that is I don't want it blacked out every single day, the entire class, and you think they're in their room learning when they're really muting, have their camera off, and they're playing their video game. So that's what I mean by that. Another thing is mute yourself when others are talking. Students are still cutting people off as they're talking, or myself. So I'm telling them to either write Miss Hester in the chat box, a question mark in the chat box, raise their hand within the reactions in Zoom, and I will get to them when I can. I also have them unmute, and I let them know, though. I will tell them everyone can unmute. You can blurt out the answer. Everyone is, we have some off topics, but nothing extreme. Everyone's being respectful. I hope everyone is paying attention, and that kind of leads me to another question that was asked by a parent as far as how will I know when my student is behind? And unfortunately, I wish I had a better answer because right now we're through 3 weeks behind with our papers because they need to be, I won't pick them up for another week. I won't get them for another week. So I really don't know if they're up to date with that day's assignments. But what I can do and what I will show you is where to find the to-do list that you can go over and make sure they completed that day. The comment box should be used for academic questions, clarifications, but not other chatting. So when I tell the students the reasoning behind this, it's not that I want to be mean and not have them talk, but when someone has a question, they put a question mark. People are putting gibberish, like they're just typing anything onto the keyboard. And my chat box is very small on my screen. So I don't see that question popping up. And then that chance for them to learn, maybe they were so shy, they finally put in that question mark and I don't address them. I don't want them to shut down. I want to make sure everyone's learning. So the extra topic, the extra talking, we just do not want at all. Another thing are cell phones. Some students are pulling out their cell phones during class, so just make sure it's away. Even during break, I have students pulling out their cell phones. So I don't want cell phones in the view of the camera at all, please. And here's a time where I'll address other questions. So as far as Aries, I had a lot of students that are parents, so used to students, that were asking about that. So I'll let you know as soon as I can about how you can get into Aries. I also had a question about students that were behind and then that were worried, and parents didn't want them to fall behind as far as while they're in the live instruction, not necessarily their homework. And this breaks my heart, and I knew that this would be an issue because when we're in class, I am constantly walking around. I'm looking at their papers. I'm looking at their work, and I'm helping them wherever I can. Here, it's hard. I can't really see them. My screen only lets me see 7 kids at a time, and I have to scroll through. And I can't see their paper, what they're doing. So I have encouraged them to let me know, and that's why I'm on growth mindset and beautiful oops and, to be kind, but I know there's still some shy students. So what they could do is in the chat box in Zoom, when they hit 2, there's a drop-down menu. They could send me a message privately and to say, please slow down, and I will not call their name out. I won't say, oh, so-and-so needs me to slow down. I will just slow down. Another thing they can do is at the end of the class, they can privately message me again and say, I need office hours or I need to Zoom with you. And then I will write them immediately and we'll figure out the time, whether, after their lunch, where I can Zoom with them and go over what they missed or what they were confused on. That led to another question as how do students get a hold of me if they need office hours? They can write me in Canvas because during my office hours, I will be checking Canvas to see if students are saying they need help with something. They can also let you know if you are home with them. And you can write me on Parent Square and just tell me, so-and-so needs office hours. And then I will go onto the Canvas Zoom link that we go into in the morning. So there won't be a separate Zoom link. They can just click right back into it. And I will show you where to find it if that sounds confusing. And no other student will pop in because I have a waiting room. So if that brings them anxiety that other students will come in and they'll be confused, or other students will hear what they don't understand, I won't let someone else come in. Now I will show you the different Canvas icons and buttons and where we can find things. Okay. So when you go into Canvas, your student will not see everything on this side. Oh, let me actually take you back. Okay, to their dashboard. This is what they will see on their dashboard. I beg you not to let them go to language arts, math, or science. And then there will be a history eventually right here because it's confusing. So I wanted everything to go through the classroom homepage. So the only place they need to go is the classroom homepage to access their assignments. The PE right here tile is where they will go on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays at 1 o'clock for their PE. So if they go into our homepage, scroll down, This link right here is the link that they use to get into our 8 o'clock meetings every day. I will also use that for office hours. So all they need to do is write me on Canvas, email me on Canvas, or you can write me on Parent Square and say they need me to get on, and I will right away, and we'll figure out everything they're struggling with. Down here is the to-do list. So this changes every Monday. I will leave this up over the weekend. So let's say it was just a busy day for you and you could not get to your student and see if they finished the work. That's okay. Over the weekend, please go through this checklist to make sure everything's complete. If a student missed that day, I am doing just a quick 20-minute recording of everything we went over that day. It's not a full-blown lesson though, because recording my entire screen really slows down the connection, and the majority of the students can't hear or see me, and it's a big problem. So until I'm able and the district's able to figure this out for me, I'm just going to record during my lunch everything we did and explain the homework. So if you click, so Monday, the lesson will be in here. So this one's 15 minutes. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it under 20. You can pause. Your student can pause throughout. If there's something they missed during class and they needed to copy some things down. And below is where I am going to always put links. So if I show them a video during class, I will put the link below so they can still access the video, because I am not taking time on the video up here showing a video on a separate website. Now, if we go back, so each icon has that day in it. Like I said, during my lunch, I'm trying to do it real quick. So it is uploaded by 12:30 when they're done with when they are done with their lunch. As well as the to-do list being updated each Monday, so are these videos. If you're a teacher, I'm sure you have seen the headache of behind the scenes of Canvas. And I don't want to confuse students even more by trying to house these videos and them trying to find it on Canvas. So let's say you are a week behind. You will not see the to-do list, but I created a YouTube channel that will house every single video that I have sent you on Parent Square, whether I'm explaining how to find something or the overview of that day's assignments. So if you click that link, it will take you straight here. So here, there's the first message I sent to you, and I'll always label it as best as I can. And then I'll put the date as well, so you know what lesson that was. And I clearly make the same face with my mouth open. Next on the Canvas page of what I wanted to show you is whenever we start science and history. And the reason I have not started science history in the afternoon is the mystery science that we use, they're more like experiments and they don't have the materials. I don't want you to try to go find the materials. I want to provide them for you. So I will give them to you on the next pickup, and they need to put them directly into their bin so they don't lose it. Language arts and math, they will never need to go to unless I tell you something different. I will send you a message. I want language arts and math just to be during class and then finish at home what we started in class. So social studies and science, these two buttons are the only ones they'll need to go to in the afternoon to complete something. So we'll just use science as an example. Again, I don't have the assignments for 2 weeks, are not in here yet. So don't judge my very blank pages. This will be the overview page where they'll see what they're doing for science that day. On the bottom, they hit next. This will actually take them to the lesson. As it says, I will post the actual lesson for what they need to do. If it's a video, and then they need to do an experiment, everything will be listed here. If they have an assignment that I embedded to Canvas where they need to type on it and submit it, it will be here. This is what I see. They won't see it. This is so I know. And they will keep clicking through. There might be additional pages, but they just keep clicking next until it says you're finished. They're just finished for that day for science. They then will have to go into history and do the same exact thing until it says they're finished. So those pieces are the main thing that I want you to understand with Canvas and see. If you have any questions whatsoever, please write me on Parent Square. If you need to just Zoom with me one-on-one because you have some concerns or questions, please let me know and I will do that. I also want to thank you all for your support. I have only heard positive things and it makes my heart so happy because just like everyone, I was very anxious and very nervous about this online learning, and you've all been so gracious, and I'm very happy. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you all. Okay, bye everyone.